Hey there, it's Isaac from the Original Amazon Coach here. Today I wanted to talk to you about some great tactics that you can use in your Amazon FBA business to save yourself a ton of money on shipping and storage so you can stop giving all of your profit to Jeff Bezos for his next yacht. The two main strategies I want to talk to you about today are not talked about pretty much by anybody because most people are unaware of how to use them and how much money they can actually save on fees when they're done properly. The great thing is there's no extra learning required to pull these techniques off. If you currently run an Amazon FBA business, you pretty much know exactly how to do this, but you just haven't used these particular services to help save you money. I'm going to break down both of these strategies so that you can see the difference your business might be able to make, and as a free perk for watching this whole video, I'll let you know about an incredible bonus that you can get for yourself by the end of this training. So make sure to stay till the end. Also, be sure to follow this channel with a subscribe, like the video, and comment any questions you have if you're interested in learning more tips and strategies for Amazon FBA. All right, enough of the suspense. What two strategies am I referring to? Is it some sort of mystical new Amazon tool that no one knows about, or an algorithm hack that cuts ad spend in half? No, not at all. I'm actually talking about something a lot more boring: logistics. Specifically, I'm referring to Amazon Warehousing and Distribution Services, also known as AWD, which is a storage option that is a lot like using a third-party logistics company, or 3PL, but doing so inside of Amazon's network, which is way cheaper than a 3PL. And I'm also going to be talking to you about the Amazon Partnered Carrier Program for shipping, which is by far cheaper than any freight forwarding company I have personally used. And the tracking and in-network payment system makes it easier to choose your preferred shipping method, the most affordable carrier, track your goods, and actually pay the freight company all within your Amazon seller account, which means you even save money on transfer fees that are normally between $30 to $50. Or if you pay by PayPal or a similar service, you could be getting killed on the 3.5% transfer fees. Let me jump into my Amazon account to show you exactly how to use both of these services so you can save a ton of money, especially in the all-important Q4. All right, so here I am inside of my Seller Central account. I'm going to go ahead and click on the three little lines over there at the top, and I'm going to scroll down to inventory. What I want to show you first is the Amazon AWD option, which is down here on your inventory tab. Just says Warehousing and Distribution, AWD. I'm going to click on that. What I want you to understand is when you click on the Learn About This Service section, it'll actually explain to you how you can actually make some, savings and make money or save money by using this. You can also replenish your inventory straight from the Amazon AWD warehouses instead of, shipping from China or whatever. And if you have your own website, either a Shopify store or, if you got like a, WooCommerce setup or something like that, you can actually use this for multi-channel distribution as well. That's not what I'm going to talk about today because I don't really do that. I actually just ship and store pretty much all inside of Amazon, and my website actually replenishes from FBA inventory. So I don't use it for that. However, if you come down here and look at the costs, this is the first thing I want you to understand. When you ship with Amazon AWD, you will actually save money pretty much every month of the year, but especially in the holiday season. So you're going to see here that it says non-holiday January through September, AWD storage per month. The cubic foot cost is 48 cents per cubic foot. Now, I'll break some of this stuff down for an example here in just a minute, but just keep this in mind that in the FBA standard size storage month, you would actually be, for the exact same, cubic feet, you'd be paying 30 cents more. So if you think you've got, maybe 100 cubic feet, you're actually saving $30 by using this if you have 100 cubic feet. And you'll actually know exactly how many cubic feet you have when I show you exactly where to find that here in just a minute. Now that's one thing. So let's say it's $30 for any standard month, January through September. Now in holiday months, you're actually going to be getting tripled. So during FBA normal months, it's 78 cents, but it actually triples to $2.40 in October through December. That's your FBA storage fees right there. So if you had 100 cubic feet, just to make this math easy, you'd be paying $240 in that month, whereas you'd be paying $48 here. So almost a full difference of $200. So normal months, you're saving $30, but in Q4, you're saving $200 if you have 100 cubic feet. So let's talk about how do you find your cubic feet? Well, let's just go quickly figure that out. So what I want you to do is actually go to your shipments. So click on the three lines, and then you come over here to inventory and then click on shipments. And when you do that, you're actually going to see a capacity monitor down here. It will actually tell you how many cubic feet you have. Right now, I only have 4.83 cubic feet. I have very small products and I'm running low on a lot of stuff. I'm replenishing it right now, but it says 4.83 cubic feet. let's just say you have 100 or you do have 393 or whatever. You will know right away from this capacity monitor how much is on hand, what your, what your usage is. So right now I have 1% usage of my total, which is 400. I'm at 4.83. But if yours said 90, 100, 200, whatever it is, that's how many cubic feet you're getting charged on every month. And remember, if you're doing that by FBA right now through, January through September, you're getting charged about 80 cents per cubic feet. So what we want to do is open a calculator and we just say, okay, let's say we're doing 300. So 300 times 0.78, you're doing $234 worth of storage fees every month. If you switch that over, now let's just say it's 300 times 0.48, it's 144. So it's about $100 different every single month. So if you wanted to save yourself $900 this year, in quarters 1, 2, and 3, save $900 right there. You've got it. $900 goes right back in your pocket. Just ship to AWD. Now, I'm not going to say that you're going to ship and store all of your goods in AWD. That's not possible because you still need to sell it. And AWD doesn't actually ship to FBA customers. Only FBA does. So you do have to keep some units in FBA. That's why my stock is actually really low right now, because I'm actually doing the system where I'm fulfilling from AWD to FBA on a constant basis. That's why you won't see me having, 80% of my storage at FBA and meeting that, 280 cubic feet or whatever. I'm keeping most of my stock in AWD. So I'm saving this money every single month, but I do have to have some units there. Now, let's talk about quarter 4. So let's say you're dealing with 300 cubic feet in quarter 4. So 300 times 2.4 equals $720. And again, it was $144 every other month. So if you minus 144 from that, and let's just say you're keeping your product in Amazon AWD during quarter 4, you'd be saving $576 per month, October, November, December. So if you take that times 3, that's $1,728 plus the $900 that we already talked about. You would save yourself $2,600 if you had 300 cubic feet in FBA at pretty much all times. You would save yourself $2,600 per year right now just by switching to AWD and fulfilling to FBA as needed. So keep that in mind. We're already talking about $2,600 savings. That is worth everything that you can do to do that. So if you want $2,600 back in your business, and let's just say we're working off of that 300 cubic feet, which isn't crazy. A lot of people have that. I don't, but a lot of people could. So you could save yourself $2,600. Now, even if you had 100, you would save yourself, $900 roughly right there. So if you had 100 cubic feet, you'd have 1/3 of this, right? So you'd have basically one third of that. 100 cubic feet is not unheard of for most consumers or most sellers on Amazon. So I'm not actually going to go through all the details of how to ship to AWD right now, but I will show you exactly how AWD can be used in shipping with Amazon partner carriers. Let's just say you want to send or replenish your inventory for a particular product. Now I'm just going to go show you here what that kind of looks like real quick so we can get to this part that I really, really hate about shipping to FBA. Let's just say I'm going to ship 20 boxes because that's about 1,000 units. And I'm shipping it from my factory. I don't want to actually ship with Amazon Global Logistics. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to hit confirm and continue. Now, when I do this, I'm going to show you 2 things about how you can save money when you ship to FBA using the partnered carrier program, which is what we're going to set up here. But then we're also going to talk about the warehousing and distribution. So it's giving you this option now. Do you want to ship it 1 to 5 shipments to Amazon FBA, which is what the fulfillment center means? Or do you want to ship it to 1 shipment and save up to 84% in storage fees? Also, you save a bunch of money by shipping it to 1 location, and it goes straight from your factory directly to the AWD warehouse, and then you can fulfill to FBA from there. So let me show you what it looks like when we talk about using the partner carrier just through FBA, which is what it says here, send Amazon partner carriers. And it's going to give you this placement amount here. So for 2 shipments, basically 2 different fulfillment centers, it's going to cost you an extra $170. You can try to get it less for a different region, but it's usually more. It usually gives you the cheapest one. That inbound region here for 1 shipment, gets pretty expensive. It can be up to $340 if you ship to like a California fulfillment center. But if you ship to 5, there's no placement service fee. Okay, that's fine. Let's do 5 because there is no placement service fee. Normally, when you talk to a freight forwarder and you say, I want to ship ocean, then you pick your shipment date. So like pick it in a few days. You actually will say, okay, I want you to pick up my goods from my factory. And what's actually going to save you money here is to use a carrier exporter of record, so the EOR, and then you hit get shipping costs. When you actually normally ask your freight forwarder to do this, they do not like splitting the shipment up in 5 because they're not going to ship it by ocean to 5 different destinations. What's going to happen is it's going to ship all at the same time across the ocean, and then it's going to break up. They're going to have to relabel some stuff. And instead of shipping it by a freight truck, they're going to ship it by small parcel delivery using FedEx or UPS or something like that. And it's going to cost you more. Now we look here, and this is actually, reasonable, I guess, $414. That's for 1,000 units. That's about 41 cents per unit. That's reasonable. That's 41 cents per unit. Okay. I'm not terribly, mad about that, but I don't think I want to pay even 41 cents a unit, 1,000 units at $4,114. I don't want to do that. So let's go back up and let's actually change this. Let's change it to Amazon Warehouse and Distribution. And then I'm going to hit continue to AWD workflow. So remember that it was $414. We're going to go ahead and use Amazon Managed, Amazon Partner Carrier, and then we're going to do ocean shipping. And we're going to do 23. Now, the one thing about AWD shipping is you cannot send SPD. So you cannot send small parcel deliveries. You have to send it by freight, meaning it's probably going to be put on a pallet, put on a freight truck. They're going to have to schedule delivery, and they're going to deliver it to an AWD center. However, if you're working directly with the partner carrier system, they do that all for you, so it's not going to be a big deal. Again, we're going to pick the exporter of record by the carrier. We're going to hit get shipping costs. Now, remember, it's $414 for the FBA process, which split it into 5, and I didn't have to pay any extra fees for that, no placement fees. But you look here, and now you're looking at $128. It actually gets there a week earlier because it said March 8th on the last one, gets there a week earlier, March 1st, by getting to the AWD, and it cost me $128. That's now 12.8 cents per unit. That saves me 1/3 of my shipping costs, actually more than 1/3 of my shipping costs. So if I did this for every one of my goods that I ship all the time, I would save, let's say, $300 on every 1,000 units. So let's say, and I will probably ship about, maybe 10 shipments in the year. If I save, $300 on 10 shipments, that's another $3,000. So let's just say I save $3,000 on my shipping and then about $3,000 on my storage. I would have just put back in my pocket $6,000. Now, of course, I do have to send this from AWD to FBA, and that's where they break it down a little bit more for you on the learn about this service, because what they actually do is they will actually charge you $1 per cubic foot to ship your goods into FBA from AWD. That's actually pretty cheap. So if you think about a cubic foot, it's 12 inches by 12 inches by 12 inches. About the size of maybe half the size of a standard box. You might have 24 by 12 by 12, something like that. And if you think about, how many units you might fit in there, let's say there's 100 units in that, 2 cubic feet box, and you have 5 boxes. Think about this. If you're sending in 10 cubic feet, which is 5 boxes from AWD to FBA, that only cost you $10. So 5 boxes by 2 cubic feet, 10 cubic feet. It's $1 per cubic foot. That's $10 to send in 5 boxes. You cannot get that through UPS, even through the Amazon Partner Carrier program where you ship it from your house or from a 3PL into Amazon. For any shipping from a 3PL or from your own house to Amazon, it's going to cost you at least $8 to $10 per box. So again, just transportation from AWD to FBA, you're actually saving money there. You could be saving $9 to $15 to $20 per box, depending on how big your box is and how heavy they are. But basically, they're not charging you by weight. They're just charging you by cubic foot here. So you're basically going to be saving yourself a lot of money all around. Now, they do have a processing fee of $2.50 per box. These are base rates. This is if you use your own carriers and all that stuff to get to AWD. However, if you're using the partnered carrier program, you're going to actually get these rates, 36 cents storage. So that's less than half of the FBA standard storage. You're also going to get $2.13 per box, which normally is $2.50 per box, which isn't a huge deal. If you talk to any 3PL, they're going to charge you about that or more. And then you're actually going to get shipping instead of $1 per cubic foot, you're going to get 85 cents per cubic foot. So overall, you can save yourself a ton of money using both AWD and the partner carrier system to get your goods from your factory into Amazon. Think about all the money that you could be saving just by using this, by not getting all those storage fees adding up in your FBA account. And if Amazon ever decides to charge overage fees in FBA centers like they did in the summer of 2024, which I actually got dinged a couple $100s on as well, I would suggest that you use AWD because they keep them in the cartons and then they only ship it into FBA when you ask them to, or you can actually have them auto replenish it as well, which is kind of a nice thing to do, but I like to be in control of my own stock, obviously. Overall, you're going to be basically cutting costs on everything from shipping to storage to just getting things to a fulfillment center versus you trying to have to find 3PLs. You'll even save that money on the transfer fees to your freight forwarder, which is a pain in the butt sometimes. A lot of people don't even know how to pay a freight forwarder because they might have a Chinese bank account and they can't accept US dollars. All this stuff is pretty much right within the network that Amazon has set up for sellers, and most people don't even know about it. I highly recommend you start using both AWD and the partner carrier program. You don't even have to go through the Amazon global logistics route because essentially this does all that stuff that you normally do already with a freight forwarder. It just does it right inside of the Amazon system. If you did use Amazon Global Logistics, you probably would save a little bit more money, but that's only for people who need to ship a lot in a year. And basically, because then you'd have to have like an annual bond or, a temporary bond, so you can ship into the country. And I don't recommend doing that if you're kind of starting out or if you're kind of just trying to get your profit building on Amazon. I would just go straight for the Amazon Partner Carrier Program. Worry about global logistics later. It is a bit more complicated. You do have to pay some more money. I think it's like a $500 annual, importing bond, something like that. So if you are going to only do 1 or 2 shipments a year, it doesn't pay off to do that. If you're going to do 10 to 20 shipments, it might. But just think about using both the AWD and the Partner Carrier programs. All right, I hope you enjoyed that demo. And obviously, I can't go over every granular detail in one video. So if you have any other questions, make sure to post them in the comments below. And remember that free bonus I told you about at the beginning of this episode? I created a truly valuable training manual called Thriving on Amazon FBA, which covers a lot of great topics and has great actionable tips for Amazon sellers. You can grab your copy by clicking the link in the description below. Also, make sure to check out the rest of the videos on this channel to learn more about the ins and outs on Amazon FBA. Until next time, watch your metrics, take smart actions, and keep growing your business.